So I think we covered everything except Writeback. Writeback is a different one. So I'll try to cover that concept is end up with Rani. So remember, Writeback is basically, right, let's say you have developed a report and based on the report, you are trying to modify the values I'm just talking about. Let's say you are trying to modify the value or updating your value. That value has to be updated directly on the database. From OBIEE layer, from OBIEE report layer, and you are trying to modify some value, and that value has to be updated directly in the database. That concept is called as writeback. So I think that is the last one when you go and click on this. So interaction is completed and then writeback. This is the one. But yeah, we'll discuss on this end of the training. So there is, you need to write some XML small tags, which is nothing but template building. You have to define that XML tag and then put it into installation folder. And you need to call the template here. And whenever you call, so you might be having one enable checkbox after clicking else. That means when you click on that value, so you can able to modify the values. So that is possible through writeback. So writeback is the one which can directly modify your database values from OBIEE report. Let's say if you want to change the value here, yeah, it is possible by using a writeback. So that's only one concept, I think. Usually OBIEE reports will be, only the read purpose, right? So whatever the data we have in the database, we are going to connect that database and try to retrieve the data here. So that's all. Entire OBIEE will be always having a read only. But if you want to read and write, let's say write permissions if you required in the database level. So no need to go back to the database. You can just directly go to OBIEE reports and whatever you are trying to modify or updating a value, then so that can be possible through writeback option. Clear was, and I think we have discussed everything on that concepts. And so another one is basically filter. I think everyone knows what is filter and how do we. I think we already discussed this one. So we'll go and create a filter values. That's one area, and the second one is basically, yeah, let's say 1999. So this is how you can give a filter value. And the moment when you give a filter, let's say if I want to add one more value and there is one, click on pencil icon. So before doing that, yeah, right now we don't have data for 1999. That's the reason showing a no results actually. Let's say, you got a no results, right? Someone asking was, I don't want to get the default no results value. This is the default message which you are getting from server or OBIEE. I don't want to see this one. I want to see my own message. You got my point, right? So the no results is it's a basically two-line statement we are having currently, but I don't want to go with that. I want to give my own custom message. So that is also possible actually. How it is going to be show you, I'll tell that. So go to, where is this? 1 minute was. So here you might be seeing a display custom message. By default, you go and say no rel settings. You are seeing no rel settings. By default, a default message will show. If you don't want to go ahead, then you can go and give your own message. I'm just giving my own message. And if you want to give something cosmetic changes again, you can go and enable markup language. Click on this now and go and click. Are you able to see the bus? I'm just replacing the default value with my custom name or a custom statement, right? That is possible only through this properties of the go to criteria So we have a properties XYZ symbol. So just click on this, and by default, this is talks about no result settings. And if you want to give your own, you can go and give your own. And if you want to write a statements like if you know Excel, you can go and write it here. Same. This is talks about only bold color and enable the HTML. Click OK and go and click on results. It will be coming with bold. Or if you don't know, if you want to give some cosmetic changes, then you can go ahead and update the tags based on what you are expecting from the output. So that's how we can go and give it here. So now you can see the uppercase. So but you need to enable the markup HTML markup checkbox, else it's always showing as a lowercase, bold color. Okay, and else, and yeah, that's one thing first. So that's it from this side, and I'll discuss about this later, interaction later. So the interaction is only no properties actually. I mean, some of them are missing. You can go and add it. But this is also most important in the real time. Usually, we are not going to because that is a two-line statement, right? So and it will occupy some space on that. Instead of that, we would give us, we would like to give some customers, statement whenever you are not having any data on the database. So that is how we'll do. Now, yeah. So moving on to this, let's say, I don't know what kind of values we have. Let me check. Hello. Is it retrieving data or it's still? Yeah, now I think we. So we have a data from 2008, 2009, and 2010 data. Now, if you want to see only specific year, then you can go ahead and use a filter. So when you do a filter, actually there are things like you can go and give one value, or if you can go and give multiple values. If you want to see the multiple values, so let's say drop down, drill, I mean expand your drop down and select it, or you can go and give one value semicolon another value. So there are two ways actually. I'll try to show you that. I think system is very slow. He's trying to. What is this, boss? Mr. Raja, what is this? Something is downloading.
Dell sir, Dell.
So either you can go and click on drop down value. So that's up to you. Is it slow for me or everyone else? I'm not even seeing any values right now. It's showing a please wait.
స్లో అయిపోయింది సిస్టమ్. సిస్టమ్ స్లో అయిపోయింది. అదే వెనకాల డెల్.
Raja, can you please unmute and then say what is the download is?
డెల్ వచ్చేసేస్తాం.
Yeah, because of this, it's delay was actually.
క్లోజ్ టాస్క్ మేనేజర్లో కలిగి క్లోజ్. టాస్క్ మేనేజర్లో కలిగి
Go to control panel and kill that session, or just go to task manager.
కదా. దీని మీద రైట్ క్లిక్.
Task manager, right click there. Yeah, just right click
టాస్క్ మేనేజర్.
task manager and kill that session. బాబు ఏం జరుగుతుంది బాబు?
రావట్లేదు సార్. ఏది టాస్క్ మేనేజర్?
I'm sorry, Najma.
సార్ ట్యాప్ చేయమని చెప్పండి సార్, ఏ ట్యాప్ ఉంటుందో తెలుసు.
Yeah.
ఆల్ ట్యాప్ చేయండి.
Yeah, I think he can able to listen. Raja, you there?
ఎస్ సార్. ఇంట్లో ఉందని అది వినిపించట్లేదు. రవి ఇక్కడ
Second one. Third one now. It is occupied 100 space disk boss.
మళ్ళీ దాన్ని రెండు మళ్ళీ కొట్టు. క్లోజ్.
Okay. So now, if you don't know the values of the specific column, what you have to do is either just expand the value, drop down value over here, and then you can select, or else, and let's say if you can type it, let's say first value you can select 2004, and we don't have data for that, I think. I don't know whether it. And if you go and select another value, I don't know whether it is. What happened was.
బ్లాంక్ స్క్రీన్ వచ్చింది.
If you go and select a value, let's say multiple values, it will be coming with a semicolon. So now you can see there is a value, each value after value there is a one symbol which is called a semicolon. So that is how you can go and give multiple values or a single value. That is depending on criteria which you are selecting. Now you are able to see, though you have selected 3 values, but it is showing only 2 because 2004 data is not available in my database. So that is doing a filter. And also if you are passing a variables and filter, I think we already discussed on that, right? And one more important concept here is basically, let's say converting this filter to SQL. So if you are writing, let's say if you are good at SQL, and then if you want to do something on the filter command SQL level, you can go and write that SQL also. So this is basically gives you a SQL command where condition. If I do a filter is always within where class. See clear saying this page allows you to enter a custom where class using a SQL statement. if you are writing, let's say in the operators you have a few of them, and something is not available on that, then you can go and write a custom SQL also. That is also possible for you to do your own filter condition. So why do we need to go with custom SQL? Because there is an operators which we have a few of them are available predefined. Other than this, whatever we have, the nativity, whatever the native information we have. So if you are not satisfied, or maybe if you are not looking another, if you are trying to look another one, then you can go and use a convert this filter to a SQL. Now, one more important thing is a protect filter. So by name itself, you can easily understand protect means until unless if you go enable the checkbox, this values is going to be a static and you cannot go and change the values. By default, you can see as a log sign symbol. I'll more discuss on this concept in the dashboard level. Right now, if you go and use a protect filter, those values will be constant and until unless you're going to change those, and they cannot be changed. Usually, the product filter can be used in the dashboard level because though you are passing a value to this report, you cannot able to pass that value to this report because you make it as a product filter. So I'll discuss. Just remember, product filter is the one which you cannot change anything, which you cannot pass another values to this report. So because you make it as a product, that is a symbol, log sign symbol. Okay, that's it from this filter level. And now we can go to other option. Yeah, go ahead, Lizzie.
While saving this criteria,
And for saving.
while saving this criteria,
Okay.
filters and criteria will be saved different separately, or they will be saved
No, by
as a.
default, when you save this one, it will be saved all. And if you want to save it manually, let's say individual, not criteria, you can save only the filters. You cannot save alone as a criteria. When you are saving, each and everything will be saved as a report. A report is a consist of your columns and then filters. Or if you want to specifically add a filter or save a filter, that is possible for you. But this one is a save.
Specifically saving a filter, can it be used globally? I mean to say to separate report.
Yes. So there are these few filters which can be repeated for all no, multiple reports. If that is the case, what you can do, you can go and save this filter. Let's say you can call all the list of filters in the one filter section. Then you can go and add actually. I mean, when I say save, it will be saved. Only filter level. But if you want to select a criteria column, that is not possible. Then you have to save it as an entire report.
Okay, sir, got it.
And finally, this is a delete button. So individually, let's say you have maybe by mistakenly you have selected that column in the criteria. If you want to delete, you can delete it. Else, then you can go and delete entire cross mark. This is remove all the columns from criteria. If you just click on this cross mark on the top, then it will remove all the criteria. Same way, it remove all the filter conditions. And now, if you want to save this column as a different column, then you can go and save it. But it's not required. So these are all the default options we have now. Now we are going to discuss about when you go and click on results. So by default, you are able to see a compound layout. Compound layout is nothing but a combination of your title view and table view. Title view and table view. So now we'll see the title view, what we have on the title, the report title. And top of that, if you want to give a subtitle, let's say the description of your report. I can give you a report name and then you can just go ahead and apply a description of that report name from here. And again, these are all the cosmetic changes where if you want to use something year wise, revenue by year. I'm just giving my own name. And top of that, if you want to write something, so is it going to be italic, bold, and italic? And size should be 40. I'm just giving. and you can go on other states. You can, that's always possible. Now you can see this thing, right? And same way, if you are go and select image, let's say, I mean, if you have some any images is required to this report, then you can just go on this. Let's say if you have a custom image, I'm just talking about, if you have a custom image, you have to place that image under this path. Actually, I'll tell you that upload, or there is an option of uploading directly your image here. So that image can be uploaded from there directly. So either whatever the image you are looking for, you can go ahead and use it. And now, let's say I'm just giving existing image, report image, and then subtitle. You can just write a subtitle. So here wise, so this is subtitle will always gives about your description of the report. Usually we'll go and give a description. Okay, and then if you want to give a, whenever any user is trying to access this report, if you want to capture date and time, that will show you that specific time when he is trying to access, that time will go on showing it here. And now, so let's say if you want to write a URL to get this one, you can go and use it. That's how these are the title view was. Entire title list talks about title, report name, and then report description. And if you have any specific image, if you are going to deploy, you can go and deploy this. And this is purely called as a title view. And let's say if you want to give something on this, I'm just giving a border, a line here. So you can give this line. This is one symbol. And a report name, so you can give it. Or if you want to give double line symbols, then go to border. I think there is a symbol we have. This is color, right? One thing. 1 minute was. Yeah, border style you can see. A single and double you can go and give. So you have double line in the below. So that is how you can go and change it here. So these are all the cosmetic changes with respect to title view. So what we have under title view was, title we have a report name and then report description and at what time you are trying to access that report. And so that's only one information is available, and then also logo. Clear? So this is specifically required about title view. Now table view. So every table kind of views, there are 5 individual sections first. I'll go and edit that now. So we have a prompt, we have a section, we have a, now we can see, I'll go and edit the view. So we have a prompt and we have a section, we have a columns and measures, and below there is a exclude. There is a exclude, I'll tell you. So now what is a prompt? Prompt is nothing but, let's say, I think I'll go and add. I'll try to remove the filter conditions what we have given earlier. And I'll go and introduce month-wise sales data or year-wise. So per name month as well. No. So what is a prompt? Prompt is nothing but it's kind of changing a value dynamically based on the selection, right? So now I'll go and edit. Sorry, not title. I'm sorry for that. So I'll go and edit my report view. So there are multiple things I'll tell you. Either you can come here or you can go to this views. How many types of views you just open? Those views are displayed here. Either you can go to edit here or you can go here. Anywhere was. Let's say both places are same. Edit view this here or you can go and edit this level also. So now we are discussing about one section. So I'll go and drag a per name under your prompt. So when you select a prompt here, so you have an option to choose the value dynamically. Let's say if you go and click on done, I just drag a value. I just drag a column from section to prompt section. Now you are able to see the data. You are able to, let's say if you want to change the column position, yes, that is also possible was. Just go and change the column position here. So now we are able to see only 2008 data. And if you want to see 2009 data, dynamically you can change the values. Now you can see the 2009 data. So that is possible through a prompt section. So you can go and use a prompt level. Now you'll go and edit. I think you're able to understand, right, what is prompt. It will be used in the dashboard level also. Suppose prompt is basically, it will give you a list of values based on the selection. So and then you can dynamically change the report layout automatically. When you drag that column, this is a first one is a table prompt, and then now you can see the section level. Section level means, let's say right now we have a data for 3 years of data. So why I'm saying 3 years, because I dragged my year column into prompt section level, right? Sorry, prompt level. That means year column is displaying only 3 values as of now. Now in the right now it will show you one value and the corresponding data, right? So what happened if you go and select that? So if you go and select that into criteria, what I mean is the section level, it will be show individual report. Let's say I will show you right now, it will showing only one value, one report, right? It will show you 3 reports now. For each value, it will show you 3 reports. So what we have 2008, this is one kind of report, and we go down. So we have one more 2009, another report, and 2010 another report. So that means output is going to be, entire output is going to be shown within one section itself, within one frame. So that is basically when you drag that column to section level. Clear was prompt and section. So prompt is basically you can go and change the value dynamically. I don't want to see all the value list of values data. I want to see the selected list of values. Then you can go and use a table form. Right? If you don't want to go with that, and if you want to make all the values you have to see in the same report, then you can drag that column to section level. So you have any questions in this one, was? And if you're dragging back to this one, so you can go and drag it here. That's fine. And now, so this is a table level columns and measures right now. So we have seen what is prompt, we have seen what is section, and we have seen columns and measures. Here, let's say I would like to show you something on this columns and measures. I want to see year-wise revenue, year-wise grand total. I want to see year-wise grand total. Then how do we do that? Go here. Now there is a grand total value also available. Now, what you are expecting was, you are expecting a grand total by each and every year. Right now, it is not having any grand total after a year, right? If you go down, so and 2018, so 2008, 12, so there is a value, but grand total is missing here. So what the customer or user is asking was, every year I want to get a grand total. To get a grand total, so on what basis you are asking about grand total on my year? So now there is a sigma symbol here, right? Which is nothing but a grand total. Sigma is always, I think in the school days we have saw, I mean, we saw that the sigma, which is a grand total value. Now at what time you are display, after or no below? So now every end of the year I want to see the grand total. Now we can see a grand total is possible. So now 2008 total value this much, and then go down. So 2009 we have value here, and 2000 we have value. So if you are expecting some grand total after a few records, then that is possible through a sigma symbol. Clear, boss? You have any questions on this one? Babu unnara?
Yes, sir, it's clear. Cosmetic
And now let's say, and you are expecting right now, you are not able to see the total entire grand total. Entire grand total means, so 2008 there is a grand total, 2009 there is a grand total, 2010 there is a grand total, right? But I want to know the sum of 2008, 2009, 2010. Do we have that information right now? So nothing is displayed right now. Clear? Every individual year we have a grand total, but I want to see all the years grand total. So now what you have to do is, you can go back to edit the table view, and there is a sigma symbol. So this is called as a grand total for entire columns, right? You are talking about grand total is for entire columns. Now you'll go and see end of the output, report output, you might be able to see the grand total for all 3 years. Now you can see the grand total for all 3 years. So this is a simple methodology, was Either you can edit table view or just right click on any column. Let's say I would like to say right click. I don't know whether right click is coming or not. I'm not sure. Is it coming?
No.
Now you can see this show row level gun total also. You can just enable or disable. Or so that is a instead of go and edit your view and then make a grand total, that is also possible. Or you can just go to the value and then right click and it will show you grand total. Now we need to understand the concept first thing what we have under table view properties. So we have a prompt, we have section, we have rows and columns, but rows and columns is always talks about a total, individual total or subtotal and grand totals, right? That we have seen now. Now the second part is basically exclude mode. So what do you mean by exclude? Let's say I don't want to see a month data. What you can do, just drag that into exclude mode. It is a kind of exclude, which is a hide button. If I drag that column, you can able to see only year-wise data, right? So because I made that exclude a month column in the exclude mode. Exclude mode means it is going to hide your value in their output. That is a. Now I want to discuss with you one thing was I think we have seen there is one place where you can also exclude or hide a column. Can you tell me where is that? So one thing you are able to see exclude in the view, that I am fine. And previous classes we discussed about one concept like hiding a column. So where is that option is available?
Column properties.
Yeah, which is there in your column properties. Under column properties, second tab I think you have. Now I'll go and show you that. If you go to column properties and column format, so column format, we have a data hide. Now this is also gives you hiding a column, right? Boss, I need your input in this one. Now you go on results, so you can see only year-wise data. You can't able to see the data from month, right? So now you can able to see the data from year-wise. Now my question is, what is the difference between hide a column and column properties, or hide a column under exclude individual view properties? So both are doing the same. Ultimately, you are not able to see that column. Right? What is the difference between these two? Any one of you was. So when you do that, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Someone is trying to say something.
I guess when you hide
రిజిస్టర్ అయిపోతాం కదా
the
details.
column from the column properties, even though you are hiding, but the data will be fetched from the database.
No, in both cases you will do that. In both cases.
Okay.
Now try to observe. Try to observe. So right now I did a hide on column properties. So I did a hide on column properties first. And now you are able to see only two columns of information. One is year and another revenue. What happened? I will go and add one more. I'll try to introduce one more view. Let's say I'll try to introduce a graph. Simple. So that is this one. I'm just introducing another view is called as a graph. So this is a graph boss. I think I don't know why he is not able to see the data. So there is ActiveX control has to be installed. Yeah, now we are able to see. So now here also, what is this one boss? One is a revenue column, and another one is we have two columns, which is a year. Sorry, year-wise revenue. Here is there actually in the top 8, 9, 10. So only year-wise revenue, and that means two columns are enabled. Now let me put side by side. Okay. Now this is my table view and this is my graph view. Now my intention is basically I'll remove that hide button from here. I'll remove that hide button from here. Please be observed or please be careful actually, and when you're doing this one, try to understand the concept. Okay, I'm just removing a hide button from here, and then I'll go and exclude that into individual properties. Now we are able to see both, right? Year, month. Now you can see the month wise, year wise, and revenue. Now, when I do this, basically table view, and when you do an exclude mode, let me drag that into exclude mode. Now click on display. Done. Hmm. Can you tell me the difference between these two? Hide and exclude. Boss, are you in a position to understand what and I did just now? What is the difference between hide and exclude? Whenever you are doing a hide and the column properties, you can't able to see that column at any view. There are 20 plus views are available. Seeded views are 20 plus or maybe 30. If you go to graph itself, it has its own. So right. So what I mean to say, when you do a hide button under column properties, so when you do a hide button under column properties, that column information cannot be shown on any kind of view. That is a hide mode. Criteria level, when you do a hide, that column cannot be visible to any other view. But when you go and do a hide but exclude button and specific view, that cannot be shown only the specific view, but other views can able to see. So I just exclude a per name here in my table view, but I cannot exclude it in the other view, right? So that means if you want to see the one column information in one view, then and you can go and drag that into exclude mode and specific view. Exclude will be only the circumstance should be only that specific view, not for all views. Whereas hide will be for all views. That's it. The difference between those two is when you do a hide under column properties, that can be applied for entire all views or all views. Whereas exclude is only specific to that view. So both are doing same. The concept is same. What is doing exclude hide? So basically both are doing. We are not going to visible that information to output. But the difference is, I think you are able to understand, I guess. So that's from the table view properties, was nothing else on the table view. So we have discussed. I'm sorry, I didn't. So we have discussed what is prompt, what is section, what is columns and views, what are we going to do from columns and measures, and what is an exclude. So anything else on this graph with this table view property. So this is called as a table view. So right, and now I think I would like to ask you one question from you. Right now you are able to see the data on year column, right? That year value has to be repeated for all months. If I want to repeat that for all months, what can I do, boss? Right now it's showing only it's a merging section. If you go and do an Excel, you can see the merge option is available, right? So instead of printing a value from each and every row, I want to print the common column for entire one. So now what my intention is, I want to print this column for each and every row till this 12 months. What is that repeat? Yes, that is true. So which is available, I think we discussed in the last class, suppress and repeat, right? So by default, it is a suppress mode. And if you want to see the value on the individual year, go to column properties of that specific column. So go to column properties here. And there is a second tab again. Go to the second tab. There we can just do a repeat. If you do this, click on OK and do this. Was clearly saying reports are purely depending on your practice. If you do a practice, you know each and every option. If you are not practicing, nothing else was. You can't able to capture the information. Ultimately, you are not going to do anything on the report layer. Most of the logic can be built on the RP layer, but you need to understand the concepts or individual options. What is the use of individual options on each and every view? So that's your duty to practice that. I cannot go and cover individual thing. So what my intention is basically I can go and cover whichever is an important from the real time specific area. I'll go and cover. And if you want to see something, then you have to play around those options. You need to practice well. So okay, now I'll go and remove this one. I don't want to. Now I'll go and use one more view called as pivot view or pivot view. Someone are calling something, so the pronunciation should be a pivot or pivot. So pivot and table view is basically both are same, but the only one beauty of the pivot view is if you want to convert a column as a row as a column, that can be possible only through pivot view. So now we'll go and drag side by side here. So there is an option of dragging individual views from side by side that is possible. This is a table view and this is a pivot view. So basically both are having right now the same. Now my intention is basically I'll go on. Right now the year is showing as a row, right? I want to make that row as a column. Year is showing as a row, right? Right now the year is printing a row. Now how many values under this year? So those many values will be calling as individual column. So my intention is basically, let me go ahead and, so there is other features as well from the pivot table. Those who are good at Excel, the main difference are between the table and pivot table or pivot table is converting row as a column, column as a row, which is available from your pivot table, but not in, let's say I have a year and then, and the sale amount. So just I'm giving 2017 and there are two values out of my year column. 2018, the value should be something. Now, if you want to make that converting as a column level, then what you have to do is you have a there is a year, so there is a heading of this column. Under here, how many values? 2017 is one value, and 2018 is one value. That means these are the rows actually, right? Now the row will be converting as a column, individual column. This is a column name. I think are you in a position to understand what is column, what is row? So if I say horizontal things, right? So these are all rows, and this is a vertical bars is always talks about a column, right? Now, how many rows we have? Those rows will be converting as a column here. Now my value should be so 1000 and then 3000, and here you can say revenue or sale amount. I'm just converting. This is how we can go and do this as a pivot. Pivot is only through. This is the beauty of the pivot table. So now whenever you want to convert a row as a column, so immediately you just need to think about the view is called as pivot view, right? So now I'll go and convert them into a OBIEE report. So now what is my intention was, I think whatever we discussed, right, same options are available. So we have a table prompt, we have section, and we have a column is a separate one. Initially, the table view, we have columns and rows are combined in one section. Right here in the pivot, it is a different rows and columns is different. Now, what is my intention? I want to make that a year column. And now you can see what is that was. There are three values out of that. Those individual value will be converting as one column. So enter 2008 one data. If you go down, so you can see the another data 2009, and then if you go down 2012 or 2010. So we are converting a row into a column by using in pivot table. So that is most important or beauty of this one here. Clear was, is there any other questions you have? And then exclude, everything is same. Only the difference between table view and pivot view properties, we have a prompt, we have section, we have exclude, everything is there. But in the pivot table, we have rows and columns are separated. Whereas table rows and columns are in one section. If you want, I can show you one more time. Where you, so if you go here, edit table view. So prompt is same, section is same, columns and measures are in one section, whereas in pivot is different. Columns and rows are in different. That's it. And exclude is always there for all report, all views. And do you have any questions on this one, boss? So what is pivot table and what is a table view property? So what is table view and what is pivot table view? Okay, let's say and each every row. So I want to see only a specific records. Let's say I don't want to go with no horizontal or a vertical bars here. So what I want to see each and every view it has to show only 10 records out of that. How can I able to see? I want to see only 10 records specifically. Now what you can do, go to the edit view, and there is a XYZ again. There is a properties. Just do a content paging and rows per page should be 10. This is how you can just do it. Instead of displaying all the records at a time, I want to display only first 10 records. And then later, if you want to display, there is an arrow down. So you can go and get that information. Now you can see. So up arrow and down arrow. So this is display all values if you want, you can go. Or display the next 10 records. So you can go and click on this. Same way you can go and do this one also. Instead of displaying all the records in the same page or to space or to it is occupying a space. So because I can go and do my own. So by using a properties, individual properties, go to the content paging and make that content paging and view as 10 records. There are other options too, boss. Rows, individual rows values. So and then you can feel free to go and no, do your work and just practice those individual options and then do it. So this is most of the views which you are going to use in real time, table and pivot table and graphs also. So anything else today, boss? Tomorrow I'll go and cover other views. So, but before nothing else was everything is same now. So we have a section, we have a prompt, we have a exclude. Those three are common for all the views, and then we have rows and columns also available. So what you have to do is go to, I mean, once you, after completing this class, then go and practice this. If you want to add a new view, this is an option where you can just add right click. And these are all the different kinds of views available from your OBIEE point of view. So you can go and add individual one and then just practice. So I'll cover whatever is required in the real-time specification from tomorrow onwards. So I think these are the two major key role when you are developing OBIEE. And now what are the view you have added? So those